What's going on, people? It's Emmanuel for Altenor Media. Now we're back with another reaction review to Power Season 5. This time it's episode 3, which I believe is titled, Are We on the Same Team? Now before we start, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for the notification, so whenever we come back with another review, you'll be notified of it. So please make sure to do that right now. So anyway, let's get into Season 5, Episode 3. It wasn't a great episode, but it was still pretty good. So anyway, put my glasses on as usual. We open the episode with James. He's washing his hands, kind of washing the blood off his hands figuratively after he killed the drunk driver. And now we see James is pretty much a serial killer right now. He's not just killing for work now, he's just killing for his own pleasure. So this is a big change for James right now. He killing everybody. So James is like, this is the most crazy unstable he's ever been. So everybody better watch out. Tate needs to watch his back because James is reckless as hell right now. So now they're catching on to Angela, and they're finding links between Tariq, Raina, and Ray and Angela. So it's getting really tight for Angela right now. So there's a break in the case, and a detective comes to the St. Patrick house and wants to talk to Tariq because somebody says that they saw Tariq go outside, and that's a completely different story than what Tariq says. So Tariq, now he's not the greatest liar, but he gives just enough to get the detective out of there, and now they're really feeling it that things could be coming down on them. So now Angela, she got to go even further now to cover things up. So Angela's getting deeper. She's getting in deep and deep. She's just getting more corrupt and more corrupt with this. So this is getting good. So and there's a scene where Tommy, Ghost, and Kanan are just chilling at Tommy's apartment. They're playing pool, eating Chinese food, kind of just like old times. They're working together good. And then Ghost pulls Tommy aside, or I think Tommy pulls Ghost aside, and you can see Kanan's sneaky ass in the background just listening, like, which is just hilarious. So at first, Tommy asks Ghost, can he run money through Truth to clean it up? And Ghost says no, especially if Kanan is involved. Ghost is trying to be clean now. But now, let me just say now. So Tate and Ghost are meeting with Linda, who is played by Garcelle Beauvais, and then they're trying to get funding from her. They're trying to make her an investor, but Ghost slipped something in there about retail stores and Tate looks at him like, nigga, what the f are you saying right now? So Linda can tell that these two dudes aren't on the same page. They don't even know what to agree on. So she's like, I'm out. Yeah, wow. So Tate is like mad as hell. This is the first time we really see a little bit of annoyance and anger in Tate, because he's usually like just cunning and just smiling. So he tells James, maybe you need to sit this one out. Let me handle it. And James is like, nah, I got this. I'm a negotiator. I'm a businessman. So Ghost sets up a dinner with Linda to try to convince her. Ghost is going to use his charm, his suave to, get the deal done. He's used to using that to his advantage. So boom, he gets to dinner with her. They get to talking. And she tells him, let's finish this in my room. And she tells him to bring a bottle. So they get the bottle to go back to this room. And Ghost, he put it down on her. From every position, he put it down, And after that, after he lays it down, he thinks that, he set the deal. Everything is going to be okay. He got everything going through. Tate comes to meet him, and then at first Ghost is like gloating. You know, Tate is like, yeah, I see what you did. You think you did a good thing. You charmed her, and then you laid the D on her. Yeah. So Ghost is like, yeah, I did that thing. And then Tate is like, nah, you really messed it up. That's what she expected you to do. Like, you thought you could use the charm and manipulate her, but she really played you. So it was crazy how Linda flipped it on him and basically used him, you know, to get it in. And then she not even messing with him like that. So Ghost, you know, she really threw that right in Ghost's face. The way it was crazy how she, you know, manipulated him like that. So yes, I ended up going ahead. So Garcelle Beauvais, she did her thing with that. Shout out to my Haitian. She did her thing with that guest appearance. She's like, take a woman out to dinner first. So that was a cool guest appearance. Anyway, what else we got? Yeah, so that was like really the first time we saw Ghost really standing up to Tate too, but it didn't work out for him in that instance. So okay, so now they're visiting Teresi in jail. They're trying to get him to flip on Tommy to get Ghost. So they're giving him an early release to, you know, to spend some time with his wife. But they really want him to give Tommy up so they can get Ghost and they can get Angela too. So it looks like he's agreed to it. And Tommy doesn't know about his ulterior motive, but we don't know for sure that Teresi is going to flip on Tommy. But Tommy's crazy ass mother warns him that Teresi ain't ish. So he might just flip. He might just be working against Tommy if his mom's on him. Even though his mom's is like a cokehead, crazy ass cokehead. You know, she usually gives him solid advice. And, you know, of course, she comes over. She tells him, you know, her supplies when Tommy hits her off with a little capsule of white. She couldn't even wait. She poured that junk right on her hand. Was like, sniff that junk quick as her. So anyway, so we get to the scene where they're at the church again, going through Tasha is at the church going through the help group, and then the couple announces that the drunk driver was killed. Now the husband, he seemed pretty happy about it. He said they got great news, but the wife was like, nothing can, you know, you would think this would make her feel good, but nothing is gonna bring back her daughter. So she was bawling. So the pain is still the same. It might be even worse because it just, you know, shows her that even this won't bring back her daughter. So that really shows us just how differently people grieve and how differently people handle things. And they're, you know, kind of a little bit of a reflection of Ghost and Tasha. Because Ghost is just angry. He's just handling his thing with anger and rage, just like the dad who lost his son. And Tasha, she's just more reflective and she's hurt, just crying. She's saying, you know, she misses her so much. And this is the same thing with the mother. So that is like the big conflict with Ghost and Tasha is the way they're handling the grief, and that with the way they're handling it is pulling them apart. You know, they finally started to work things out, but the way they're handling the grief is, you know, separating them even more as we watch the episodes. And she confronts Ghost and lets know that, you know, did you kill this dude? You know, that's not the way to handle it. You should be killing Kanan, or she's not really even worried about Drake. She wants Kanan dead. And she sees that Ghost is going off a crazy path. He's basically a serial killer. So she goes to tell Tommy, you know, to keep an eye on Ghost because he's going off the deep end. But when she goes to tell Tommy that, she runs into Kanan. You know, Kanan he just be running off at the mouth saying crazy stuff, so he's basically like flirting with Tasha, and then Tasha's like, if you come after me, you better kill me, nigga, because it's gonna be a wrap for you. So, and she lets him know that if it wasn't for, first he says, I'm sorry about your daughter. He offers his condolences, but he says it in such an angry way, like how you gonna offer your condolence with a mean mug, like just crazy. But that's just Kanan. So, and she says, she would be alive if you didn't get Tariq into that life, so she blames Kanan for it. But Kanan gives her that realness. He's like, you introduced him to the life before he was even born when you chose a drug dealer as his father. So Kanan, through all of the anger and just the assholeness, that's probably the realest thing, one of the realest things that's been said the entire series, that Tariq was born into this life. The minute that Ghost and Tasha got together and then they decided to pursue that life, they brought Tariq into that life. So, so really they got themselves to blame. So that was just some real ish. And then when, so Tasha is mad at Tommy for keeping Kanan around, but now we see that Tommy is not really trying to mess with Kanan like that. And Ghost is really not trying to mess with Kanan like that after this, going forward. So even though we could be mad at Kanan for having his own ulterior motives, like trying to get himself, an organization, trying to steal Tommy's organization, we now know that really Tommy and Ghost are not messing with Kanan at all. So they got their motives too. So everybody is out for themselves. So we can't really be mad at one person when Tommy is like, after this, I'm not messing with Kanan. We just got this one common enemy. I need him to help me kill the Jimenez and Dre, and that's it. And Ghost says the same thing. He says, you can't run your money through truth, especially if you messing with Kanan. So that's what it is. What else we got here? Okay, so we see Angela now. She's trying to use her body to really move the suspicion off of her case. So she's getting with this other agent, and now she outsmarts the woman that's on her tail by removing her from the investigation. And she's like, oh, it's this witch Angela Valdez who's playing with me. Tommy and Proctor, they had a scene. They got an interesting connection. They got an interest. It's always cool when they're around. So Tommy wants some information on his pops, and Proctor gives him the info, and then Proctor's like, I'm not supposed to be around you. Stop calling me. If it's not a life and death, stop calling me. Because the bar is still reviewing Proctor's thing. Proctor is so hell bent on not losing that lawyer license, man. You messing with, millionaires and millionaires. You're gonna be all right. Like Tommy said. Tommy said there's a million ways to make money. Besides being a lawyer, why are you worried about this bar thing? And he's like, legally? And Tommy's like, I ain't say all that. So Tommy's letting him know that he's gonna be good regardless. But Proctor wants to keep his money clean. But Proctor, you're already dirty, my dude. So you're already in it. Just make a couple of bands and then just be out. But Proctor wants to keep it legal, and he wants to keep the interaction between him and the rest of them at an ultimate minimum. But we see that Tommy and Proctor are really forming like a little connection. They're kind of cool now. So anyway, we get to Tommy and Keisha have a little moment. Keisha is still she's still pretty upset about it, so she kind of pushes him away, but she still wants it for some reason. So yeah, Anyway, so but Keisha now she gives Tasha some other realness too. So Tasha is talking about Tariq and how, she just doesn't know him anymore. And Keisha lets her know that you've been lying to him, all his life. How you think he feels about that? You ain't been telling him the truth his whole life, and now you want him to open up to you. There's things that you have to do, get out there, in order for him to open up to you and trust you. He's not going to tell you everything that's going on, and you've been lying to him his whole life. And that really clicks inside of Tasha's head, So Kanan and Lakeisha really give Tasha the real. So now we see a nice touching scene between Tasha and Tariq where she tells him, that yes, your father is in the drug game. I was in the drug game. We grew up in Queens. It was a hard life. So people sold drugs, to get by. This wasn't to like a money thing in the beginning. You're doing it to stay afloat. And that's not the life they wanted for Tariq, because it's a dangerous life. It's a hard life. You're always looking over your shoulders. So she didn't want Tariq to get into that. So she was just trying to protect him. That's why she didn't tell him about it. Because he can see now that, what that life already, he just had a small piece of that life, Tariq, and it already cost him his sister. He already killed somebody in just that short amount of time. So, and I think now he probably understands a little bit more about why they never told him anything, or why they lied to him for his own protection. And he opens up and he tells his mother, he saw Raina get shot, Raina get killed, and he just froze. And he tells her he misses Raina so much. So that's a nice touching moment between mother and son, and we really see Tariq open up. So now y'all can't say I hate Tariq this episode, because he was good. So this is like the first episode in like 2 seasons, a season and a half, where you can't be mad at Tariq. We actually feel sorry for the kid. Almost. So yeah, that was a pretty touching moment. Okay, so and then Tommy's pops is out of prison. Tommy picks him up, and then he says they're going for a ride. So we got to keep an eye out to see, is Tommy pops, is he going to give him up, or is he just fooling the feds, Mock and Sax, to visit his wife, and then really spend some time with Tommy and all that. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, most definitely. Yeah, so I think that's about it. Oh yeah, so for this episode also, James, he lost the investor, so now he needs the money. He tells Tate he's gonna come up with the money. So now he agrees to let Tommy run the money through Truth Again. So Ghost is like officially back in the business, and he's killing people. So now we got drug money running through Truth Again, because Ghost needs the money for his development project. And so he's just going to take a cut of Tommy's money. So now Ghost is officially, he's back in the business right now. So we got to keep an eye on that going forward. So now Ghost is willing to do whatever it takes to get whatever he wants. And Ghost, please stop calling Angela, man. He calling her at least 4 times every single episode. She not answering. Let it go, brother. For real. Let that ish go. Anyway, so that's it for season 5, episode 3 of Power on Starz. Again, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments. Share the video, like the video, of course. And thanks for watching. Once again, I'm Emmanuel. Peace.